Hello there, Kasama Lee here. Are you ready to hear about the loan contingency? Let's watch this video. So we have discussed the two other major contingencies in the life of an escrow. The inspection contingency, the appraisal contingency, and this week, last but not least, and very, 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 very important, is the loan contingency. You see, the loan is literally the engine. Imagine, you open the hood of a beautiful car. There is an engine that actually makes the car run. It doesn't matter how beautiful the car is. If there is no engine in it, you ain't got no car that is running. So the loan, if you're financing, right? Or if you're the seller and you have an offer where buyer in escrow to purchase your home is financing with a loan, their loan has to work out. It has to be approved. And the final piece of the contingency in a life of an escrow is the loan contingency. So what that really means is once the loan contingency is removed, that means now we're just cruising all the way to the finish line, closing, right? So once we get to the loan contingency removal part, basically the loan has gone through underwriting and it's almost to the finish line, final verification and whatever else that those amazing lenders do. I am not a lender. I am not a mortgage specialist, so I don't know all the work, all the workings behind the scenes of it. But I know that when we have loan contingency, ta-da! We're almost to the finish line because the buyer is ready to bring the final funds to close. The seller is like, yes, all the contingencies are removed. Now I can start packing. Maybe they've been packing, but now they're really packing. They're getting quotes from the movers and so on and so forth, right? They can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. They can actually start exhaling. Let's do a quick inhale and exhale exercise together, shall we? Inhale. Fill the lungs with love, peace, positivity, and let's exhale. Let's just let out all that air of anxiety and doubt and let it all out. Doesn't that feel so much better? Did you do that exercise with me? By the way, you should do the inhale, exhale, deep breath exercise, 4 or 5 times in the morning when you get up. Make that your morning ritual. You might actually expand your lungs and allow your lungs to take in all that fresh air. Okay, back to loan contingency. So basically, the seller can actually now exhale if they've been holding their breath, whether, this loan is actually going to come together or not. When the loan contingency is removed, it's the final piece and it's literally a number of days before the loan gets funded, before the buyer signs their loan document. Somebody's getting the keys, right? Buyer's excited, seller's excited. So loan contingency is very important. So here's the important thing. There are now some, okay, and I'm not a lender once again, there are some lenders now that are able to approve conditionally, they call it, conditionally approve the loan where all they need is an address to the property and the buyer is literally submitting an offer, removing their loan contingency because they're so set financially with their pre-approval that they can just actually submit an offer with the loan contingency being removed up front, which is really golden if you're on the seller side. So if you're learning more about that, if you've heard about that with your lender, if you're a buyer, maybe inquire more about it. It's not for everybody, just like the appraisal contingency removal that I talked to you about last week, but it's very possible for many people, many borrowers these days that we're seeing in this market. By the way, did you know that the market is still bananas? It's still going bananas. Loan contingency is very important in that way. And if you're a buyer who's, you're going through the loan process, this is not the time for you to be opening a new credit card, to be buying a new car, to be purchasing furniture for the new home that you're about to move in. Don't touch your credit. Don't do any of that stuff. Don't do any new purchases. Don't pay off any credit cards. Like, don't do any drastic changes during the time that your escrow has begun until it closes. Like, job change would not be a good idea either, because a lot of lenders now will rerun your credit scores like a few days before closing date. They will re-verify your employment. All of these things are to make sure that the lender is protected from any possible default that may be caused by the buyer's employment change, or any hardship that may be happening, any changes in their debt to income ratio. You can learn more about that from your lender as well. But there are a lot of things that you really just need to just sit still and don't touch anything that has anything to do with your credit if you're a buyer and if you're a borrower, okay? So that's one little quick tip for free for you. These 3 contingencies are so important in the life of a loan, of an escrow, of somebody who's purchasing. And I hope that if you're on the seller side, you understand that there are many things that you could be looking for now, and your agent could assist you with that. Seller, to be looking for the type of offer structure that would be beneficial to you as you review these multiple offers showing up everywhere. If you want to learn more about the previous contingencies that I discussed before, watch this video. Thanks for watching.